Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Helden Menethia. I command you.
Threats to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Its armor's too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest. Dragon form!
Sleep well.
An astral voice?
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Raging Cascade.
Take this! Can't get out of this!
Lightning Orb.
Escape!
Raging Cascade.
Dance on the wind! Escape!
They might
Dragon form!
Mighty saving
Burn in hell! Dragon form! Dazzle! You're mine! No escape! You're finished! You're on! Dragon form!
Not on my watch.
I have no limits! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! No chance! No escape! Dragon form!
Healing
Fire support! Dragon form!
Raging Cascade. I never miss.
I'm ready!
Astral energy. Full throttle.
Now or never! I'm not done!
Armor won't save you!
My shield! Dragon form!
Thunderblade. Lunar Pyramid.
Dance on the wind!
Now, Redwell. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Hi, Hoodle.
Burn in hell! You're mine!
Hear me.
No escape!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
In here.
Shattering no pieces! Attack time!
Dragon form!
Into the shadows.
Captivity!
Now, it's over. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Not a chance! Dragon form!
Raging storm.
Dragon form!
Now, astral energy. Full throttle.
Now! Here I come!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Form!
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
Dragon form! Be still! You're mine!
To be seen!
Upon thee.
You're mine!
Shooting star.
Can't get out of this! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! Reflect! Not a chance!
Annihilation.
Struck!
Raging storm.
Dragon form!
Celestial runner. Ice prison. Raging. Hear my call. Celestial blood.
I'm ready!
Lost. Get toasty.
Bird strike!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
might be a touch too dangerous.
Ridwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later.
An opponent like this should be easy.
That one's mine! Healing circle!
Demon
Far
power.
beyond the darkest sky! This one's mine!
I'm going in.
Engaging!
Dragon Swarm! Rending you apart. This one's all mine. Ignite!
Lunar corruption!
Dragon
Lunar
Swarm!
blast! Radiant
Lightning
storm!
Thrust!
More with
You're mine! Do back!
Stand back.
Here it goes!
Dragon Swarm!
Razor cyclone!
Take this! I'm not done!
Do it!
Ridwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant denizens!
My turn! I'm not done!
The enemy wields Arc 2.
You'll soon see about that! Corruption!
Penumbra!
Gemini, where was that came from? Lightning! Illuminate!
I'm ready! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Now!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
With this, I can become even stronger!
What's with that shining foe over there?
Out of our way!
Shattering
You can't get out of this! Begin! Benediction light.
They really don't give up, do they?
Now you learn!
Eat this!
Damn it!
Dragon Swarm!
I never miss! Illuminate!
Damn it, Bennett!
Do it!
Ridwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant denizen! Lightning!
My turn!
Outline
Dragon Swarm!
Rain down and purify all!
This one's all mine! Eat this!
Now, lunar corruption!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
We can really make weapons with this?
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Right, here goes!
I'll face you no further!
Dragon Swarm!
Shine! Radiant light!
Time to cross blade!
Regenerate!
You're mine! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning orb! More with that by the
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Carve through armor!
I'll heal you all!
Eagle Ray!
Stars of light! Rain down and heal us all! Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Thanks!
I'm not done!
Just what I not on my watch!
It's on!
Freeze Lancer!
Dragon Swarm!
Thunder heal! Light!
Burn!
Pierce! Raging
Dragon
cascade!
Swarm!
Eagle Ray! Searing flame! Seal! Bring you down!
Here I come! Penumbra! I'm not done!
I'll be saving this one! Lunar corruption!
Try harder!
The darkest sky! I call upon thee!
Days to take this!
Searing flame! Reload! All disasters made one! Lunar corruption! The fury! Lunar blast! I can do this all day!
I'll smash you!
Dragon Swarm!
Here's evil! My great laser rod!
Crush! Dragon Swarm!
Outline who is inside me yearns to be let free! Elusive deity!
Dragon Swarm!
Eagle Ray! Prepare to be sealed!
Take down on the ground! Be still! You're mine!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Mega ray!
No further!
Hear my call! Spread! Do not!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
It's in the
Just
sky
as
and
well
beyond.
I'm here to stop.
Freeze Lancer!
Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going?
Can you take it? Tornado drive!
See that in your dreams! Raging
The
Cascade!
flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Mega Ray! All disasters made one!
Eat dirt! Down on the ground! Dragon Form! Spear!
Healing circle!
Eagle Ray!
Now I can pull myself together. Sorry, I call upon thee!
Nothing can take this!
Annihilation!
Try harder! Now!
We'll be
Here I
both
come!
sealed.
Dragon Form!
More for the stockpile. Healing
Try
circle!
harder!
Need to pull myself together.
Fluid! Negative change! You're mine! Dragon Form!
More for the stockpile. Healing circle!
Dragon
Crystal
Form!
energy! Lock! Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Don't push yourself too hard.
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Radiant was mine!
Rending you apart!
Water, hear my call! Weak now.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Dragon Form!
Water, hear my call! Glacial spear, piercing
Pull nothing back! Be still! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! My turn! Take this! Crescent Flash!
Shadows from Past Malevolence! Magic
Dragon Form!
In
a bind?
Hear me, Flame of Fury!
Dragon Form!
I will heal you all beyond
No dawn shall break this night! Form!
Healing circle!
I owe you a demon lash!
I'm sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me.
I can do this. Will this help? Healing circle! Think so much!
On your knees! Here I come! You're mine! Dragon Form!
Do it!
I'm not done! You're
Annihilate
finished!
dirt!
Force of regeneration! Take this! Regenerate!
Now!
Trigger!
Astral energy!
Say no more! I can feel my power growing!
pretty worn out.
Want to rest up for a bit?
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Now you see what I can do!
My shield is...
Freeze laser!
Ignite!
You think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh?
This one's mine.
Can't get out of this! Fire in the hole! You're mine! Not today! Transform! Hold nothing back! We're not finished! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Here I go! Struck! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Eat this! Here I come! No escape! Is this it?
Forgive me. This is my fault.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Fall back! Fire in the hole! I'm not! Here I come! Transform!
You require
Take this!
Healing
I'm ready!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
My turn!
Take it! Oh, one ray of light! Rain down into the
Lost the light!
flame of fury!
Execution!
Glacial spear!
My exploits are bearing fruit. This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the...
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control symbols like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zoogles. Then we get some answers.
Go for the weak point!
Take this!
Lightning orb! More with that thunder ray! Lightning condemn! This one's mine! Thunder blade! Blah blah blah! Magic! Holy lamp! Forward up! Spread! Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
You're mine!
Air pressure!
Freeze dancer! Lightning orb! Light astrolite! Dance in the wind! I'll heal you all! Sleep now! More from the south! Healing circle!
Down on the ground!
Clear flame!
In a vine!
Gravitas field! Accidental! Confiscating! Annihilation! Mega wave!
I'm not done!
Magic
Dragon
advance!
form!
Penumbra!
Field!
Rotating pile driver! Ready and rare! Now you see what I can do!
Circle!
So sorry, Trouble.
Sleep now!
Captivity! Catapult! Prepare to be
Where
seized!
was that came from?
It's weakened!
One more! Ready for
You're finished!
Dance on the wind!
Easter!
Freeze Lancer! You get healing
Demon
orb!
Blast!
Air thrust!
Dragon form!
Easter! Blah blah blah! Holy Land!
Down on the ground!
Gravitas
Soaring
field! Where
blast!
are you going?
Tornado drive! I'll grind you into
Denied!
elusive deity!
Take this!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Armor won't save you! Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver! Eagle ray!
Ready!
Down on the
Dragon form!
Far beyond the darkest skies!
In a vine!
Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
Down on the ground!
Dragon form!
Searing steel force! Reload! Semi-aqua! Champion
Penumbra! Demon blast!
You picked the wrong fight!
Eagle ray!
Caught now through all!
Dragon form!
Blade! Dance in the wind!
I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hit! Crazy
Penumbra!
Dragon form!
Spear! Ready and
I'll
ready!
be saving you!
Eagle ray! In a vine!
I can handle it! Champion swirl! More with
Now
that
you
came
see what I can do!
That move!
Here comes the big one!
In here! Glacial spear! More with the stockpile! Freeze blade! Light astral energy! More with that! Where are you going?
Let us take to the fray!
Mega ray! Annihilation! Lightning orb! Fury! Burning the wind! Glacial sleep now!
Dragon form!
Heal!
Poodle!
You'll pay for that! Dragon form!
Bring you back from death's abyss! Here, let me help out the fight left.
Can't get out of this! Shattering the pieces! Attack time! No
Keep
time
it
to
going.
break this night!
Power to the level! Magic and in here! Gemini more for the stockpile! Mega
Begin.
darkest skies! I call upon lead!
Dragon form!
Dance on the wind!
Here goes!
Penumbra! I can carve through one! Spear! Eagle ray!
Lightning condemned!
Dragon form! Wide open!
It won't escape me! No further!
Holy glimmer! Burning holy land! Water, hear my call!
Down on the ground!
Far enough!
I didn't think you had it in you.
Focus. It'll be time to congratulate me later.
Nothing much I can say to that.
Raging cascade!
It's just her! Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember, you never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, The feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
That vision we saw, it was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.